afternoon, everybody. It's the Cryptid Huntress. I'm Jessica Jones. Welcome into this Monday edition of the Cryptid Huntress channel. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend, and I hope you guys are all getting ready for your turkeys. All you crazy turkeys out there, getting ready for Thanksgiving this week. And yeah, I'm so excited, y'all. We've got a great show for y'all today, and I also have a wonderful show for Wednesday. We have John Vendaventure coming back on Wednesday. We're going to have a wonderful Thanksgiving show for you guys at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 Central. So y'all come back and see me on Wednesday this week. Okay. But today we are going to be discussing a Miami Mall Alien update. Okay. So you guys remember the Miami Mall Aliens from about, was that a year? Oh, it was almost 2 years ago now. On January the 1st of 2024, I believe. They had that incident. And of course, it was just kind of said that it was some pesky teenagers that had gotten in a fight at the mall. Well, I think there's a lot more to it. And we're going to talk about that today. And obviously, it was a remote viewing target. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit today, too. I do have Barry Littleton here in the studio with me today. And Barry was there with me when we went over the remote viewing data for that here on the show. Back right when it happened. That was a very heavily watched show on my channel, actually. So anyways, we got that. We also are going to be talking about creatures on Mars. There's an alleged, it looks like some kind of animal that was videoed and pictured on Mars. I don't know. We're going to go through a whole bunch of different pictures and some information about Mars today, and look at some of those pictures. And also we have underwater spaceship reports, including the Baltic Sea Anomaly we're going to talk about today as well. So this is going to be a jam-packed show full of information and full of fun as well. Yeah, if you guys, speaking of fun, if y'all missed our Saturday night show with Harley Owens, that was awesome. That was a great show. We talked about Oak Ridge Dogmen and so much more. And at the very end, Harley got portaled to the Dollar General. Okay. Where he received his sponsorship from DG. Okay. So I'm just kidding, y'all. But yeah, that was a fun show. So y'all please go back and check that out if you missed it. And shout out to Harley Owens. Thank you, Harley, for joining me on Saturday. Okay. All right, y'all. Well, if you guys would like to check out my social media links and stuff, or get an archive of my shows, go over to my website, please. It's thecryptidhuntress.com. And over there, you can get the links to my Patreon, my Etsy shop. Etsy is called War Woman Goods. That's my shop over there. And so thank you guys so much for all your support. It means the world to me. Okay. Let's get to our show today. Okay. So today we are talking about the creatures photographed on Mars. We're going to even talk about some eyewitness testimony from former NASA employees. And we'll also explore an update of the Miami Bayside Mall Aliens incident, which occurred on January 1st, 2024, and take a deep dive into the Baltic Sea Anomaly with new evidence pertaining to this large enigmatic object detached from the seafloor that is exhibiting electromagnetic activity. Okay, this is not just some random rock on the bottom of the ocean. This thing is making divers sick. It is dropping their body temperature when they get close to it, and it is letting off electromagnetic frequencies, which mess with all the devices of anyone who encounters it. Okay, sounds familiar because when we're out in the field doing our Bigfoot field research and stuff, our equipment malfunctions and goes haywire a lot of times when there is ET activity out there, and probably Bigfoot too. Okay, so of course we do have Barry Littleton here in the studio today. Barry is a fantastic researcher. He's got his own YouTube channel called Barry Littleton, and you guys can find him over on Patreon as well. Just look up Barry Littleton and you'll find him. Please help me welcome to the show, Barry Littleton. Hey, Barry.
Hey, what's up, Jessica? Oh, thanks for having me on. It's always a pleasure to be here. I want to say something real quick. I just want to give a thanks. The last show that we did, I'll be honest, I normally don't always go back and look at the comments, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I stay out of it. But I did that time. And there were like a whole lot of really nice, cool, complimentary comments about a couple of styles of things that I've done on you that I've always worried about.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It was a few people said it, and I just want to say thank you. It kind of touched me deeply. You know what I mean? It's getting towards the holidays, and I just want to give a shout out. Thanks. It's good to get some positive encouragement like that, and it hit me deeper than most comments would. So I want to say thanks to everybody. And plus, it was a really good show. And thank you for helping me do mine yesterday, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. You know that. I almost blew that whole deal. But the information that came out at the beginning of that I forgot to kind of implement on at the end of the show, because I get too excited sometimes or go off topic. But all the things that connected your sketches from that last show to the ancient cave paintings that both show Makos, which may be artificial cyclotrons or hadron colliders, same one and the same, whether it's artificial or natural, and how that also coordinates to what's called the Eye of Africa, that area of Earth too. So I think you've got, so you're seeing these portals being portrayed several different ways. The exact same. You saw it. Your diagram looked exactly. Thank you for letting me show that.
Yeah, of course.
Your diagram looked exactly like the ancient cave paintings, which was cool. I thought. It pulls things together. I didn't make that correlation for everybody before we signed off last time. So everybody could just go to my channel and look up ancient cave paintings on the playlist. I think it'll be on various topics maybe or something. But anyway, that's when you can actually type in, it comes up. But you'll see better than images and cave paintings than I was able to show yesterday with my half functioning. Anyway, it was just cool. So I just want to say thanks to you and everybody else.
Well, Barry, I think you were full functioning. It just took you a little while to get there yesterday afternoon. And once you got there, you were full steam ahead. And it was amazing. So
like those cats jumping on the moon.
Yeah, the cats. Oh, yeah.
Which really the desert,
you get going,
right?
you can't stop. Yeah. It was good. It was great. I really enjoyed your live yesterday, Barry.
Oh, thank you very much.
A lot of great information. Yeah.
Thank you. Really appreciate that. I'm getting them to where they're a little shorter. I'm trying to go for 90 minutes one day in a fantasy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, when pigs fly. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Oh man, you've just got a lot you've got a lot of information, Barry, and it's wonderful that you're sharing that with everybody. And we're connecting those dots. I can appreciate it.
Well, it's cool. It's stuff that, I thought nobody would ever really care about. Stuff is like I've been into, stuff's always happened, and it just has steered my life that way. But there's always a part of yourself I hid from everybody. And now it's like, it's actually relevant, more than just personal enrichment to survive the death process, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think it's really cool. I mean, the things that you thought that nobody would ever care about, it's kind of in the forefront right now with a lot of the stuff that's in the news on my trusted news source over on TikTok.
I still need to get on there. I'm not on there, right?
You've got to get on TikTok. It's great. It's actually, if you're ready to go down I call it a black hole, because when I get on there, I get sucked in. Okay. I get sucked in, but there's some things that I see and I hear about. And then I look on the mainstream news, like I do like a Google search or a DuckDuckGo search, and it's hard to find some of these things. Then you go over on TikTok and it's everywhere. And so I don't know what that says about these topics though, because it could go two different ways, right? It's like, well, maybe because these things are made up on TikTok and they've gone viral because people have just rolled with it. Okay. Somebody put something out. Maybe it's not true. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of these fact checkers and stuff. Do you know what I mean? I think they've kind of died out at this point, but I'm not a fan of that.
There's a couple of things. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
No, I'll say it's two things. One is I assume that TikTok is better than Instagram. I stay off Instagram because what do I go a search on there? Excuse my language, but I mean, that is just booty central. How many marriages has Instagram killed? I can't hardly find any. I have to type in paranormal stuff and bring it up. I mean, when I first just pressed the guide, the search thing, it's nothing but men. I mean, my God, that's got to be a marriage killer.
Barry, anyway. I don't know what kind of algorithm you're on, but I don't see booty on my Instagram.
Booty algorithm.
Oh man. You must have clicked on one of those at some point.
On a serious note, though, yeah. Okay, it's not. You would be like too much. Yeah. On a serious note, though, it does suck that it's getting so hard to differentiate CGI and AI from real stuff now. You know what I mean? It's getting so good that I can't tell anymore. You remember just like 7 years ago, you could like put a nice nature picture up on like Facebook. People would say, "Hey, that's cool," you know. Now it's like it's AI. I mean, I have to go through the AI scanner for any. I put anything up on Facebook, make sure it checks out as not AI. Seriously, it's like changed to that. And now the videos are getting so good that I can't tell that much. I saw one the other day that was the bear and the moose going at it. And
yeah, I've heard about that.
I mean, it looks pretty good. I had to go back a couple times. Okay, they had AI at the bottom of it. Was the one people saying it was like it actually verified, like the very end. I was like, man, it not said that. It was even better than the one where the guy runs up and is boxing with the bear. You remember that? That was years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, there's that one video that I sent you, Barry. It's like a man fighting a Bigfoot or a bear. No, it was a Bigfoot fighting a bear. Do you remember that?
Oh, I knew that was a suit.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, how'd they get a cameraman to do that and hold that camera there?
But there's other ones like the one where the white Yeti walks up, grabs the bag, and goes like this, and it trips and rolls down the. It's things like that. I mean, but it's seriously, it's getting so hard now to kind of tell. To where it's making me go back to older things, older photos, and older videos and information that we had before we had this invasion of AI and all the stuff now. I mean, it's really changing things.
Oh, yeah. It is. It is. And yes, I agree, Kat. Don't hide, Barry. You are fabulous. Yes, you're fabulous.
Thanks. Thank you. That's real. That's real cool. Thanks.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I wanted to say happy birthday to Gerald from Midwest Night Watchers. I saw on Facebook. I don't know. Facebook doesn't always, it's not always accurate, but I think today it said that it was his birthday. So if Gerald's in here today, happy birthday to Gerald at Midwest Night Watchers. I'm sorry. I meant to say that when I first started the show today. But anyway, I see Jane in here. Hey, Jane. Okay. But yeah, we can't believe everything we see online. Bigfoot Dwarf said, do not believe everything you see on TikTok.
What? You guys busted my bubble. I can't just Google something that's not true.
Oh man, I know, right?
You know that.
We're just talking about TikTok.
Someone can say they're a researcher these days, and it means they've typed in the one word and read one article on Google, and they qualify themselves as researcher. Nobody is doing like if you're a researcher, you're actually done some controlled tests scientifically and some things of that nature and documented it data wise. That's real research. You know what I mean? And a lot of us are just it's hobby and enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Which is all right.
Yeah.
Nothing
it's
wrong
all
with
good.
That.
I mean, I'm glad that people are interested in all this stuff. You know what I mean? Listen, I mean, I will admit that I got a lot of this information off of like one of these is off TikTok today, y'all. So, but I will tell you the truth about it. I got this on TikTok. Okay. And, but I did my research in other places as well, but we're going to be talking about these like Mars creatures and stuff today. And that's where I got this video. And I had Barry, here's the thing. I had a lot of people sending me the same articles.
Oh,
yeah. And so I knew that it must be kind of viral right now because so many people had been sending me this stuff. And that's when I went down the rabbit hole with that today. But, you know, I think the first thing that we should talk about, and there's Gerald right there. Happy birthday, Gerald. Thank you for being here today on your birthday with us.
Happy birthday.
Yes. We'll celebrate on Sunday. I'm going on their show Sunday night, actually.
Right on.
So I'll be over there.
Oh, Daryl. I thought you were saying Daryl. I'm sorry. I didn't know who that was. Daryl. Oh, gotcha. So I don't look over there a lot over there because then I start laughing and giggling when I see people's comments. So it doesn't take much to distract a brother, so I don't look over there. Happy birthday, Joe.
Yeah, happy birthday, Gerald. Okay, well, the first thing let's talk about today is the Miami Mall Aliens update. Now, Barry, I know you remember that show that we did almost 2 years ago now.
God, it's been that long, really?
Yes, yeah, it was. Well, on January the 1st, it will be 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, that has come up a few times. In about the last couple months, it's come up a few times, even including I saw something about it Oh, it's just been several little outlets I've seen things. And I'll just tell you, want to know what it is? It
What?
may go on with what you're going to say.
Okay.
You know, that actually the picture of the ones in the backyard, the one there was an unknown anomaly seen in the sky that can be verified. But
Okay.
two, that those ones in the backyard that you had, I just remember you specifically saying that they kind of moved like the creature you had seen, the mantis you had seen. And I remember you saying that also about the one, I can't remember the one of this, but it's the brother doing the video and you see the thing runs from like a portal in his backyard. You said that moved similar to what you had seen also. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
But I've been hearing that specific little footage there was not fake. But then that you have this counterintelligence that steps in immediately and gets it discredited with all the other stuff they were throwing at that.
Oh.
And, I think that maybe sometimes even you and I don't emphasize the counterintelligent the aspect enough and how quick they come in and distort things and how they're using the AI and all that stuff to do it now.
Oh, man, let me tell you, and we have proof of that. Okay, and that's what we're going to go over today. And we're going to speak on this briefly because I've watched some videos. I've seen the actual testimony. I don't know this man's name. It was someone that was testifying. He's either with Department of Defense or Homeland Security. I think it's the same, basically. But Department of Defense. There was a gentleman that was testifying before before Congress. He actually referred to the Miami Mall Aliens incident. And this is wild because they have they have categorized a person who has video footage from that as an enemy of the state. As an enemy of the state, just because he has this footage and they cannot locate it. They can't get it from him. So him and some other people have been designated would be the word, as enemies of the state, Barry. Okay, let's go over it. Okay, first of all, let me share my screen. Well, I don't know. Listen, all these websites, they have so many ads that pop up. I don't know if I'll be able to do this to show you guys, but I'm going to try. Okay, and let's share the screen quickly.
I gotta ask. No, I'm just asking. Has it all been able to be verified? This enemy of the state for real? Like,
yes, there's a video of it. Absolutely. Okay, cool, this is before Congress. Yeah. Okay, let me go over here.
Okay, cool. Did they even say openly about that footage?
Well, we're going to get to it. Hold on one second. Let me try to pull this up. There's so many ads, it just wrecks my computer when I try to share stuff. Okay. It may not let me play this, but I'm going to try.
Marketing, that's the new way of things, is it not?
There we go.
Marketing for clicks.
Yeah,
everybody wants a click.
This is just a little video that's like, and it's probably going to be choppy because when I share things, that all the ads screw it up. But this was supposed to be. See, look, there's another ad. Sorry, y'all. Oh God, this sucks. I can't watch anything. All right, this was supposed to be a video of an alien, an 8 to 10 foot tall alien right there. If y'all can see that. If y'all remember this, it was an alien. Of course, they were like, no, there was this huge police presence there at this mall. And the police, they said that it was just because some kids got in a fight. Some teenagers got in a fight. But that's not what the eyewitnesses were saying at all. Here, I'm just going to go ahead and take this down.
Okay. I got to say
it's not playing.
So check this out.
Okay.
That TV show that in fact, I was just on her show. Alexis Brooks is on that show. But it's a unexplained mysteries that brother hosts that's kind of in the tight clothes sitting behind the desk the whole time. They did a deal on that. That very picture and those things of those supposed aliens walking, they proved that it was like 3 cops. They did a whole thing about it. Yeah, they discredited that pretty big.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Okay. That show is called Unexplained Mysteries. I can't think of the brother's name. It was somewhat recent too. I saw that probably, a couple months ago. Just saying, it's one that we got to throw out there that's something that might have been debunked.
Look at this from Stuart. F1 Hellboy. Okay. I like F1. All right. Stuart, thank you. It said, okay, do you remember what my data said, Barry? Do you remember my data from that? It was a hologram. Remember, it was Tupac hologram. I saw a Tupac hologram because what I was seeing was a hologram that looked like a real person. but it was a hologram. This is a blind target. I'm seeing holograms. And what does Stewart say here? A guy videoed soldiers setting up a holographic projector on the sidewalk for this.
Did you see that inside?
I saw it. I saw it at the mall. Yes. I saw it all over the place. I think it was inside probably and outside. I don't know. It was in my data. Holograms are in my data. Remember, and people were like arguing with me about it. And there was like, arguing with me about
it. well,
you remember that?
Well, it's supposed to, you didn't say the right stuff. It's supposed to be underground base. Remember? You didn't say that.
Oh, yeah. Do you remember that too? They were like, oh, the coordinates. There was some kind of coordinates, but it was actually for like Antarctica or somewhere. I don't know. And they're like, oh, they think that like maybe these aliens had like set the wrong coordinates and they were like backwards. So they ended up in Miami instead of Antarctica or something. That was weird, right? But here, this could all just be part of the psyop too.
Well, here's the other thing. My niece at that time, she lived in Miami. I called her. I said, "What's up going on with this Miami, this mall thing?" Just because she couldn't find out anything about it. She's looking. My niece likes this stuff. She couldn't find out anything about it. And she's not a little kid. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, man. It's she moved there after college, but she couldn't find out anything about it. I thought that was just odd for that amount of police thing that we saw advertised media wise. For anyone to live in that city to not be able to find out anything about it at all or see it on TV at all. That's very bizarre. And that I'm sorry, it makes my spider sense go off. But what you said about the holographic technology thing, I do believe that. And I think they're doing that more and more everywhere. And that's part of this whole, what is it? Project Bluebeam. Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm seriously, that's the way they're going to do it, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You see, you're keeping me to speed. You see, you're keeping me up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. So let's go to this. Let's talk about what happened. Okay. That was an 8 to 10 foot alien is what they said. And that's what people were freaking out about. And eyewitnesses said there was a lot of strange stuff going on inside and outside this mall. Shadow creatures with teleportation abilities or holograms. I don't know. Okay. Well, here let's go over what the news had told us, right? Because they said there was a fight caused a lot of chaos at this marketplace on New Year's Day, 2024, and there was a huge police presence, Barry, like one that was like I've never seen that many cops at a mall before. I mean, I don't know. I don't go around watching malls and mall activity or anything, but that was a lot of cops. For them to be there just to break up a fight with some firecrackers, or I forgot what they said happened.
Yeah,
okay, so let me tell you. So this man has come up now. His name is Fitz, Fitz. Fitz. Have you heard about this guy?
Yeah, I've heard the name. He's
okay.
Connected with this.
A man named Fitz. He lives in New York. He was from New York. He is now an enemy of the state. He showed up this name came up in a congressional hearing because he has a video clip from the mall incident. Apparently the mall incident is currently classified. Okay, let's just keep going because I've got my opinions on all this. During the hearing, a government official with the DOD stated that he was only able to share some information from this event when they talked about the Bayside Mall incident. He said that Fitz, this man, they call him Fitz, witnessed something classified and captured footage of the event, and that as of now remains classified, and it has not been retrieved by the federal government. Okay, if that footage is revealed, it could have profound implications, is what this man was testifying before the Congress saying. This civilian has the footage and information that is classified and has not been retrieved by the Department of Homeland Security. Their procedures have normally taken care of this in rapidly, let's just say. But in this case, they said there's a first time for everything, is what he said. There's a first time for everything. We usually get this stuff and snatch it from the greedy paws of the American citizens. Okay. And Fitz has been declared an enemy of the state, not due to any malicious thing he's done, but due to the nature of what he witnessed and the material he possesses. He's the focus of an ongoing federal operation, and he's not the only one that they're investigating, they said. Now, what kind of implications does this have for the normal everyday citizen that has had UFO activity or claims to have had alien abductions, Barry? Why are they not paying attention to any of the rest of these cases like that?
You got me on this one. I remember that individual because he was the first one that was talking about it. I saw that footage, didn't you? I mean, he'd filmed all that stuff outside, and to me, it did look overly convincing to me. It didn't look necessarily like a fake, but I mean, with the AI thing, it was just not something that I just didn't put 100% stock in it. Okay, and then he just disappeared. The stuff disappeared. And maybe what you're saying is correct, though. That goes along, but that also kind of goes along with like what was it, the alien on TikTok that's swimming around and moving around and locked up.
Ken Panama,
and
the Panama Tater Invader.
Yes, the Tater Invader. Well, that's what you called it. What happened to the Tater people? I mean, that whole thing just disappeared.
I think they claimed it was a hoax. They claimed that they had set it all up. Just like you said. After we had remote viewed it and everything, we're like, I don't know if this is real.
Yeah.
I don't know about this one. But anyways.
That's your data showed for this, with the exception of the technology, though. Advanced technology being used to deceive people.
Yeah.
Because I remember we started talking about, and I can't remember if it was like real AI or not, or whatever they were, that holographic demonstration they were supposed to be doing for schools. It looked like the whale was moving around and the elephant was moving around and stuff like that. I'm not sure how far that went and everything, but it seemed like it was kind of tied into that. But just, I don't know, just real fascinating, because we know whatever that we're seeing now, like I was mentioning yesterday, DARPA and those other programs are at least 25 years beyond virtual reality technology and anything we've seen.
Yeah.
So,
can I tell you what my thought is on this?
Yeah, please.
Okay. From the remote viewing data, it seems there was some kind of holographic projections going on there. Okay. With the police presence, with everything, it just seems suspicious to me. And then we've got this man who is an enemy of the state now, which is a little extreme for having UFO footage or alien footage, or not UFO, but alien footage, some kind of extraterrestrials. What if he actually has footage of them setting up this psyop or something? You know what I mean? Like, what if he actually has footage of like people going and like setting up these holographic projectors or something? Maybe what if that's what it is?
Hey, where did you read that from that you were reading to us? Where's that from?
It was from the congressional hearings. I transcribed what I was watching on the congressional hearing with this man.
Oh, okay. And that was the same dude. Looked like the same dude that was showing the video. Did you see him? Or was it a video you were watching?
I didn't see. I never saw Fitz. What's his name? Fitz. Fitz. F-I-T-Z.
He was like a Hispanic gentleman with hair about like mine, bald-headed Hispanic.
There was a man. He appeared to be Caucasian. The one that was testifying before Congress.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm thinking somebody different then.
Yeah.
I think the guy that filmed that one stuff, and he was. See. Sometimes I might be getting that confused also with the backyard Vegas aliens.
You probably are. It kind of all happened simultaneously.
It's the backyard Vegas aliens you said look like the ones you saw. Is that one?
Yeah, they say that was a CGI video, but I don't know. The way that thing moved was just like what I saw in real life.
That's the one I've heard some dispute about. It's that footage. People saying that they can prove it was not AI. So we'll see where it goes from there. But then all this other stuff that was counterintelligence. That's the one I'd heard about. So back to the mall aliens. Okay, sorry, my fault on that. You're specifically talking about the things walking outside. Okay, I got you now. Okay, sorry about that. I'm with you 100% now.
Yeah, it's two different things, but I think that all kind of happened in clumps. Happened in a clump, let's just say. It seems like it happened close together.
I got overwhelmed with hope.
Yeah. No. Don't ever get overwhelmed, Barry.
Overhoped.
Never. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, but no, keep going. You were saying
But I
so.
mean,
You thought.
here's my thought on that though is like, why are they making this man an enemy of the state because he doesn't want to hand over his video? Like, it's classified. I don't know. That's just extreme to me. So
It is extreme.
It is extreme, right?
You know what's more interesting is I'm surprised it would bring so much attention to it. You know what I mean? That's bizarre.
Yeah. It's not like you can't put it on like, SD cards, any kind of like thumb drives or something to like hand out to everybody. Be like, here, we got, I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, hand over the make some copies and then hand it over. I don't know. I mean, that's what most people would do, I guess, but I don't know. Who knows?
Man, okay.
What are they hiding?
Look. See that comment right there is way over my head. What in the HE double hockey stick is Castellano? I've never heard. Is that a type of Spanish? A type of
probably from Spain.
Wow,
probably from Spain.
I've never even heard that word before.
That's their last name. Okay.
Oh,
that's their last name. Oh no, or is that a language?
No, it can't be Latin. They're speaking it.
Oh, they're speaking it. Oh, sorry.
I don't know what that is.
See real well. Yeah.
Me neither, apparently these days. But
yeah,
I'm having to Google that.
Castile, Spain. Okay. Yeah. Well. Okay. Well, so that's the update on this right now. Okay, like wherever Fitz, and if I was saying Fritz, it's actually Fitz. 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 Yeah. And he's in New York. I don't know if he's on the run. He's just part of an investigation. He's an enemy of the state. I mean, why would he not be in custody then? You know what I mean?
Well, what's cool is you can follow the legal trail on this one then, all the way to the end.
Well, it's all classified too, so they're probably not releasing everything if it's classified. Because that man was like, well, I can't say a whole lot, but I can just say that he is an enemy of the state and it's an ongoing investigation.
If he loses his freedom, it might be possible.
Mm-hmm. He said it's not by anything malicious he's done. It's just by what he saw and what he has in his possession, which is a video. So I don't know. Could this also be a way to like invoke fear inside of people to like not film things and put them online and to share it with the general public? Because you too can become an enemy of the state.
Well, keeping it 100 real, something I'd mentioned yesterday, even more than that, if you really are too much of a fly in the cider, they could switch on the superconductors and the nanotechnology inside of you. We've all got it in us now. And it's a matter of who they're choosing to switch on. Mm-hmm. And you're going to have a whole lot of problems. And we've met people like that now. We both have. That stuff is switched on in them. You know, they call that, what is it? Human biogenesis. I think it is. Anyway, so just food for thought. I mean, an enemy of state like that's what they're doing to people now, to control people. And by that same deal, they'll be able to shut, once we're tied in enough, they'll be able to shut you out of your all monetary funds and everything too, electronically, for not obeying the state.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is entertainment
get
only.
In line. Yeah, get in line, people. Okay, and I think that it's just a way. It's definitely a way to discourage people from digging more into the truth. Because here we go. I mean, that's why I had to go to TikTok to find some of this stuff. It is highly redacted. Let's just say redacted would be a good way to put it. I think we're just digging too much into these things sometimes for their liking. And maybe that's a good way to try to deter us, because like I said, we too can become enemies of the state. How do we know that Fitz isn't part of the program?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I mean, how many times have we been shown this? Oh, this is for entertainment purposes only, y'all. Okay. But how do we know that he's not part of it? Mm-hmm. I just want people to think outside the box.
I mean, I'll be honest. The whole thing has to be, if I was Peter Parker, I would tell you my spider senses are tingling.
Exactly.
I mean, that's
exactly.
Yeah. By the way, that term is Homo Borg Genesis.
Yes,
That's they're calling humans that have this new nanotech in them that is self-activating, self-replicating, and programmable from a distance. Mostly silicon-based electronic circuitry of different types, organic included. Great.
Wow.
It's wonderful.
Wow.
This
Yeah.
place, well, we're breathing it, we're eating it. We've all got it in us. And I was watching this methodology study with these nonlinear detection scanners, nonlinear junction detectors. And they were showing, with groups of people that have been scanned, the people that are infected with this nanite technology, which we all are, but to different degrees, it's in the same various areas. The nasal cavity is a big one. The ear, helping with some Havana V2K. Okay, in the abdomen, and then like the thighs, lower ankles, I think it is. So in some ways, it kind of correlates with what's called the wireless body area network. People should look this stuff up and be aware with it. And that's how they activate some of the stuff within our own bodies. And the cell phones do it. All this stuff is tied in. And what I was reading, when we go to 6G, they'll just be able to switch it on most people. That's really creepy to me, man. And it's not just conspiracy stuff. This is like proven if you really look at it. And stuff we're signing on all these little contracts with the phones and everything else. I mean, nobody reads all that fine print. Do you? Even I don't. I don't read all that.
Of course I do. I get out my glasses and I put them on and no, I'm kidding. I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds funny, but we really should, because that's how they're passing that stuff by us. You know what I mean? Right there in plain sight. Like my mom always used to say, walking in eyes wide shut, meaning that you can always, hide something. The best place to hide something is an obvious sight, plain sight.
Oh yeah, we learned that in like camouflage, camo courses and stuff. Like sometimes the best place to hide is right in plain sight, because people aren't. You got to know like where people's line of sight is. It's like just right, barely outside their line of sight is where the best place to hide is usually. And yeah. Speaking of which, I do have on my pink camo, in case it's pink outside. Okay.
Oh,
Today, I love me some camo. I like
gray, black and gray, pretty much. Typical Littleton mood.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. Anyway, but yeah, it's but stuff like that, I really want people to take that serious, because that can be proven scientifically when you start looking at that technology that's using that harmonic frequency technology, like those scanners are, and realizing that these biosensors and these semiconductors, that some of them are self-assembling, okay, and also self-activating, self-replicating, and that they're emitting RF frequency, RHF radio frequencies of different types. And that takes us in that whole radio hypnosis thing. And last show you and I did, we talked about a little bit about War of the Worlds.
Oh yeah.
And how beyond what they started doing biological with those Martians in later series and things, but what they were actually, how Orson Welles did that was a minor type of alpha radio hypnosis. A lot of people believe in that.
Wow.
It was a broadcast, right? But when you start really looking into radio hypnosis, it goes much deeper than that. And like the different experiments they've done on prisoners, things that keep them in that cell, keep them completely subdued. Some of that is radio hypnosis. So it's just things people should become aware of and familiar with when dealing with these frequencies, and what really era are we in right now. Because if we're going to something like what the Matrix thing is really going to happen, something that you're seeing it right now, or something where we all start getting hooked up to something and losing our autonomy. That's what's really going on right now. Yeah. And it's creepy, because there's no laws for it. It's not in the courts yet. There's no neurocognitive law. So the things you and I are talking about are real serious. When we say becoming a target, you know what I mean? It goes a lot deeper than what even that guy's going, or just getting shadow banned on YouTube like I did in 2017. 18, I'm sorry. Anyway, but sorry, I don't want to take us off topic. What we're talking about kind of ties into that, though. And back to the alien in the mall thing. I don't want to take us too far from that. that's another reason to be really aware of the virtual reality technology they're using against us,
Right.
and how it's really going to be used, I think, to try and enslave us also. So we talk
Yeah.
about those. Everybody talks about fake invasion, alien invasion. Look, I never think that's going to happen. Not even holographically, honestly. But I think it's a great way to get people's loose up for whoever's feeding on it. You know, let's put a little bit more into 3i Atlas and make it a threat finally. If we maybe put a little bit more energy into it, maybe we can manifest that out.
A little more of a threat. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, but
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, we've been talking about that Project Bluebeam for a while and patiently awaiting the alien invasion to happen, and still no. I mean, I'm not going to say there's no sign of it because we do have 3i Atlas and some other objects that are headed straight for Earth. Apparently, I don't know. I quit keeping up with it, honestly. I keep up with it a little bit, but
what was it? Orpheus just coming here now? Something coming. But yeah, I mean, you know, I would like for people to pay more attention to the things like we're doing actually in space. When we start getting away the part that NASA's liars. Okay, we all know that. But what part of it is actually transparent that they're doing that people in the general public really aren't even paying attention to that? Things like for example, if I ask you, have you ever heard, and obviously your brother likes the name, have you ever heard of the Barry satellite?
The Barry satellite.
The Barry satellite system?
I have through you, I think. I've heard of it. Or maybe it was when I was doing some research on something.
I'm going to catch the video because it's one of those videos I never released. It's still on Patreon only. But it's another one of those satellites. Like there was another one called Osiris Rex. And Osiris Rex is the one that went out to asteroid Bennu and did mining on it and then came back to Earth and brought that stuff back to Earth. They're doing that. See, and I mentioned before that when looked under electron microscope, those pieces from asteroid Bennu look like pico technology or nanotechnology. And you got people that first I heard was Richard Hoagland, and he was telling people that they had an exhibit of it at the Smithsonian of one of these pieces. He was telling people, he said it's an open exhibit. You can go up and take a picture of it with your phone. He goes, everybody needs to go right now and take a picture of it. He goes, they're going to switch that sample out if they've not already done it. Because he had seen what looked like these nano gears inside under the electron microscope in that piece. And he said they also saw in the pieces of the rock on the moon that was on Biden's desk, on the president's desk. I don't know if it's on Trump's or not. I know he's got a big red button on there to call for Coke drinks that trips people out. That's kind of funny, I think. I'm sorry, it just is, man. People say sit there's a big old red button on his desk.
I'd be pressing it. I need some unsweet tea.
People bring in some soda pop. Some soda pop. That's great.
Man.
Anyway, sorry, I don't want to talk about that stuff. Anyway, I can't help but laugh sometimes, man. Anyway.
I mean, you're the president. You get whatever you want, I assume. Yeah. Oh man. Well, I want to thank Nathan Davis right quick. Let me take a quick commercial break. Nathan, thank you for that super sticker and happy Thanksgiving to you too. Thank you so much for your support. Yes. I say wonderful. I put up the happy Thanksgiving little sticker down there on the bottom of I think it's backwards, so it'll be over here for y'all.
That's right. It's Thanksgiving.
Yes, it's Thanksgiving. Yeah, Thanksgiving week.
Where I live, we've got this turkey that runs around in a major intersection of the city. And it's like this huge celebrity. The turkey of Kellogg. You kidding me? I mean, it's got its own webpage. Several web pages. People watch this turkey go down the street. I'm like, man, I'm wondering if like maybe he's gonna get off social media since it's Thanksgiving.
Somebody might eat him.
He might be endangered, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they better keep an eye on him.
That's a terrible joke.
Yeah, it's true, terrible.
I'm sick of the turkey on Web Road. I really am. Anyway, going even past that, what was the next subject you wanted to go into?
I wanted to talk. Well, speaking of creatures and strange animals and stuff, we're going to talk about the creatures on Mars. Yeah, and of course, you and I have done a pretty extensive remote viewing work, and you've done a lot of research on Mars, the Cydonia complex, and more. I've done at least 3 targets that pertain to Mars remote viewing. But
Doing your job.
recently, this video came out. I don't know. Listen, William says NASA was founded by Satanists. Lying is nothing to them. Probably, you're probably right. For entertainment purposes only, William. Thank you. But so this is what's going around TikTok right now. I'll pull up my TikTok for you guys to see it if you want. But here's a screenshot, a still shot of. I think this. I don't know what this is. I don't even know what to make of this, Barry, because I feel like this is some kind of AI video or something. I don't know.
Okay, it's a video.
This is the most recent one. Well, I'm about to show you a video. I mean, you know how things get out of control. Somebody will put something online and then it just like snowballs. Okay. Just like the Ken Panama thing. I'm just saying. And so here we'll pull up my
that
TikTok.
Was the name, Ken Panama. Oh,
Ken Panama.
Yeah,
Kin. Ken. Okay, let's see. Creature on Mars. All right, this should pull up. But of course, with all of my... Oh, I got to pull it up here too. All right, here we go. All right, this is my TikTok right here. And let's pull up. Let's just look at some of these videos if I can get this to work. Okay, I mean, I just don't. I'm sorry. Some of these are just AI, y'all. There's no way. I mean, look at this one here in the middle that's running.
Is that the dog track? The dog track on Mars?
I mean, to me, that looks like one of those robot dogs. Right?
Is that what it looks like to you? A robot dog?
Yes. That's what that looks like.
Maybe K9 from Doctor Who? No, K9 didn't move like that. I'm sorry. He's on wheels.
I mean, I just think that everybody has their own version of like some kind of AI version of what NASA or what this James Webb telescope and all the whatever else is like picking this stuff up.
Okay,
anyways, I'm not going to get too deep into this.
I don't believe that one. Is there another video you got? Is that it?
Here's some more. I don't know. I can't get my computer to work.
I will say this though. Jokes aside, I don't mean to laugh so much, but jokes aside though, the picture that you showed it's interesting that you sent me. It's just interesting. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Regardless if it's AI or not, interesting creation. You know, interesting supposition, I guess.
Hold on. Yeah, you know what? No, I'm gonna quit sharing this. Let me stop sharing because all the music's playing. It's not supposed to play. My computer goes haywire whenever I get anything on there that has ads or whatever. It won't let me share it here on StreamYard. So, but anyways, that's kind of a taste of what's going around the internet right now. Okay, is whatever this creature is that NASA has allegedly captured on Mars now. Now, okay, here's my thought on all this. Okay, what I said to you before the show today was like, okay, can't trust anything we see at this point. We just can't. Whether that's on Mars or not, I don't know. But there's been a lot of speculation that some of the pictures from the moon and from Mars both are actually filmed here on Earth. Okay, a lot of these things are actually filmed here on Earth. I've seen evidence of it, of like side-by-side pictures of like, this is supposed to be Mars, but it's actually in the Middle East somewhere or something. And if they do have these creatures that they're showing, I mean, this thing right here looks pretty scary. It's even got like little arms on its chest. Like, what is that? It's got six.
It does, doesn't it? It does. Little two appendages down there, like the alien from what was that? Resident Alien. It's supposed to be octopus though, that one, but interesting.
Exactly. Yeah.
You said that, wouldn't even notice that.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, what I was going to say is, what about? William says they film in Arizona for the Mars videos, and he said he saw a jackalope. Okay, thanks, William. Here's my thing. We talk about all these hybrid experiments. We talk about all these secret space program underground facilities where they're making all these human animal chimeras and stuff like that. So if they're gonna, when I look at this, I don't know if this is CGI or what, but what if, I know this is kind of out there, but what if they start if they are filming in places like Arizona, somewhere in the United States, not too far from where some of these underground bases are, like Dulce and stuff. What if they put out some of these hybrid experiments and film them and then leak them out to the public like they're on Mars, but they're really right here? Is that too much? Is that too outside the box to think?
I mean, it's pretty far out, but it's not beyond reason, to be honest with you. But here's the other thing I will bring up, is that if you remember the data that you did, because you did some really good work on Mars, I had you look on the outside of Cydonia and then also the inside were both targets inside the interior of the Cydonia area. And then another one you did was the Elysium Quadrangle. And that's these four, that's what's called, is these four pyramid things or these structures in a different area of Mars that looks like it's anomalous. But there's this book that I have, The Keys of Enoch, that calls that area chronovisors. It says those things are chronovisors. And your data, you were picking up this artificial intelligent processing thing. Remember? Mm-hmm. And I read what that book says about chronovisors. And I mean, so when we start dealing with situations like that, and the fact that that there's underground stuff. I mean, remember the stuff you were picking up underground on Cydonia? Mm-hmm. You were picking up what I call it the master jump room. I think it's the one that they're using to back engineer for stuff like Andrew Basago and the people that you've dealt with that claim to have been through that part of that program. I'm always a little bit leery. A little bit leery of it because I've had interacting with some type of time travelers, and it's not like what I've heard other people talking. But that doesn't mean anything. It's not just one faction of it. You know what I mean? But I get leery because it's like Andrew Basago said that and gave that information. Then all of a sudden, honestly, it triggered like a hive mind with a lot of people. Okay? Is that artificially done by neuroprogramming, or is it real? It's so hard to tell just like that. So we're seeing stuff going with the AI versus reality right now. It's the same way when it comes with this stuff that they're using for screen memories and these things they're doing to cover stuff with people and abducting. The whole thing, it's really messed up. Anyway, sorry.
It is.
Just real quick, if you want to maybe, is there? I don't know. You've got that data there.
I've got my data right here.
Yeah, and just you've got some stuff on there about that. It's underground, one of those targets.
Do you remember which one was the underground target? Because I have a couple here.
It would have been the Cydonia, the second one.
The second one I have. Okay. I mean, I think this is the second one, but I don't know for sure. But I can go over some of my analytic overlay and my data for this if you want.
That's cool.
Yeah, my sensory data was moving, stirring, circling, binding, important, patient, rhythmic, found, and fried. Is that the one? And I got like transportation, circular, monumental, metal, alarm, dug a hole, cadence, on the beat, sounds like a train on the train tracks. It was almost like industrial sounding is what I was getting. And cook, heat, radiation, above, below, Van Meter, and Van Allen. That was some of my data for my stage 1 through 3.
You know what? I can tell you this. If it's the one on the interior, you'll have jump room on there. You've got
it's a jumper. It looks like one of those. It looks like a phone booth thing, like one of those. And I wrote a tubular cylindrical vessel, and I was picking up Saudi or the Middle East, like the Saudis or Middle East. I thought that I was on a desert. Okay, so I wrote Middle East. Programs, interdimensional Stargate, interdimensional travel, transdimensional travel in a vessel. And I actually drew it looked like what I was seeing was like one of those containers you get at the bank when you go put your money in there and it sucks it up through the vacuum into the building when you're in your car. Uh-huh. And you go through the drive-through and they push it back down to where you are and then it sucks it back up. It's like one of those tube things. That's what I was seeing. I wrote tubular cylindrical vessel, rerun crisscross grid. I was seeing a grid. I actually drew what kind of looks like that map of the Cydonia complex in my data. So that's Let's see. There may be another page. There's another page. I was picking up on a vehicle or something. But yeah. And that we're not getting the full truth. It's hidden in full sight. And something about a rover. Okay, Mars rover. I picked up on all that for this target.
That was a good episode. I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
I must have mentioned that then because I tripped out when he started mentioning the worm thing and the tubes. That takes us into the work because I mentioned the Mars Codex book and also the Mars Cydonia Codex book.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really good information on there, and how they do all these different comparisons, like between the Jaguar mask and a lot of the Mayan ruin mask and figurines compared to what's seen on Mars, along with other symbols as well. So that is, just fascinating. But there's another gentleman named Tom Van Flandern, I believe it was. He talked about these tubes, these worm tubes that were all over the surface of Mars. All right, I'm gonna do a screen here, a share here. This is one of his diagrams here. You see that?
Oh yeah, we got it. It's up on the screen.
Yeah. He had a lot of others too that look like these tube things. He was saying like there were transport things, there were cities, there were all these different things he was saying about that, as far as it was, definite artificial architecture. So when you have that tube thing on there, that kind of had tripped me out. That's one thing.
Cool.
But listen, everything else you were saying under there, you're implying that there's ship activity under there, underground ship, that'd be under town, basically labs as well, power sources, all these things. I thought that was really good. But when you had jump room on, that's when I started tripping. I was like, whoa. And when you start combining the surrounding stuff with it and on the other, that's really, I think, something. I think you're dealing with probably the most advanced jump room period. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, but whatever it is, anybody that we know that's quote unquote involved with any of these programs, this stuff on Mars was going on millions of years ago, long before that. Okay, so what we're seeing there. And that there's also, I wanted to see how much you found out if there was a connection between the Olmec and them as well. And real quick before I shut me mouth, okay, there was another target you did that was separate, but it winds up completely tying in. And that was Tau Ceti E. I wanted to see what you saw there, but you kept seeing an exodus from Tau Ceti E and seeing it getting bombed from orbit by something obliterating that place from orbit, and an exodus to somewhere else. That exodus was them to Mars. And then they came to Mars and did the same thing. That takes us all the way into John Brandenburg's theory and that book, Death on Mars, is what it's called, based on the isotopic ratios that they found in this xenon 20 something, 120, but the stuff that they found in this, it proved that there's something happened there, that it got bombed probably from from space, from orbit. The same thing you said about Tau Ceti E. And and I was just more wanting to know if the melanin dominant, those little grays, did come here and came here from Tau Ceti, and if that story was true. And you completely confirmed that in a way that even the way I was not anticipating. I didn't think you'd hear some type of war from. You almost described John Vandenberg's book completely happening on Tau Ceti E.
It says Earthbound in my data. I'm looking at my data right now. It says override switch, override button, autopilot, team, the long haul, intimidate with violence, Earthbound, Earthlings, master manipulator, crisscross religious, and bad intentions. That's the first page of my data.
That's not somebody right? Want coming here, is it?
Yeah. Bad intentions.
Man. And then the melanin dominant ones. Oh, damn. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. That is, I think, really, really powerful information concerning Mars and putting different things together and knowing that it's by no means out of the realm of reason for there to be, there's already a lot of underground activity that's obviously never stopped there. Okay. To think there's not chimeras and things like that being produced there, just like there is here, maybe even an old green eyes trading type of a deal between there and here. Who knows?
Yeah. Galactic body part traders. Which is weird.
It's sticky, doesn't it?
It does. It does. Well, there's been so many. Speaking of creatures and critters on Mars, there's not only been creatures like animals seen on Mars and on all these rover satellite pictures. I don't know what the heck's going on. But there's like women, Sasquatch looking creatures on Mars. And so we'll pull up some of these pictures if you want today of some of the things that have been seen there. I know that we just covered that one that's all over TikTok right now, which looks like something straight out of a horror film with two little arms. The two arms on its chest are what get me. I tell you what, that's weird.
Real quick, but interesting enough, something that kind of have brought to my mind is the type of mantid that's reported to being there. Okay.
The mantid.
Yeah, here. They supposed to look like this.
Okay.
See that?
Yeah, we got it pulled up. Oh, that's cool. Is that from Tony Rodriguez?
Yep, he's the one that sent me that. I've got another picture too from another person, but that one I think is a little more interesting. He said that was the hostile species there. But that's just, so I've heard about a couple of different type of insectoid species there. Now we know that we've got like little melanated, almost looking like gray beings there from Tau Ceti. And also a little bit bigger from Olmec looking brothers too. So that takes us just to a different little perspective of that place, I think. It's really interesting.
Is that metallic?
What's that?
Is that mantid being like have on like metal, something metallic, or is it just shiny?
But that one I don't know. I don't know what those little spots down there. I don't know what that means.
Sparklies.
Maybe they're eggs. I don't know.
Floating eggs.
Tony be the one to ask about that. He said he encountered those beings, so that they were hostile.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool right there. But okay, well, let me share my screen again because we're about to go down this rabbit hole of all these different creatures. We'll get your opinion on all these. And let's see here. All right. Well, here's a big old blown up picture of that one right here, so you can see it a little better. If you guys want to see this one.
Something's too bad about the whole deal with Tau Ceti is because I told you that Marvin the Martian was supposed to be modeled in our entertainment after those beings from Tau Ceti that came to Mars.
Oh yeah.
And if you think about it, the original, all jokes aside, Marvin the Martian, when he first showed up on Looney Tunes, he was trying to blow up the Earth. But you remember he had a big old he was trying to destroy Earth, man. In fact, he had some type of an interferometer he had aimed at Earth. Anyway, I'm done.
That he did.
Creature there.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I like that little correlation.
No. I know everything wants to destroy us. It feels like these days. Now, this is a up close and personal view of whatever this thing is. I don't know. I don't know if that's supposed to be real or not, y'all. Okay, but I found some other ones that are actually really cool too. I mean, this is from all over the years. There's actually one that's like a woman. Okay, let's see. Well, I'm gonna need to turn up the brightness of my computer.
Oh wow, right? The one looks like a head or something.
Well, hold on. Let me.
Richard Hoagland's talk about that one.
Well, here's this one right here. Okay, I don't know why somebody needed to put a big red circle around that, but okay. And they it almost looks like a statue or something potentially, or a person with their arm holding their arm up, or maybe even a Sasquatch type creature, maybe. But I don't know. I mean, it could be pareidolia. And listen, if there's ever a red circle, there's usually pareidolia going on. Okay, just saying. But that's a really interesting one.
That's interesting. I've not seen that picture. It's interesting.
Yeah. Let's see.
Was that a tardigrade?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Here, let me get out of here for just a second because I actually have some pictures in my that I saved over here. Let me see which one is this one. Oh, this is the ghost lady right here. Okay, they've actually have this picture right here. This is one that's blown up. Do you see this late? It looks like a woman standing over to the. It's on, with me looking at the screen, it's to my right, but it looks like a woman, and they call this like a ghost woman or something that's on Mars, which I find really interesting. The ghost woman on Mars. Have you seen this one before, Barry?
No.
No.
The others. She kind of looked like she had almost wings, didn't it? Kind of weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I've never seen that one.
And here's another one. I don't know what this is. This is supposed to be like a humanoid or something that has been pictured there as well. So that's weird. There might be two of them actually. No, it's okay. It looks like a human. I don't know. I think that's paranoia.
That's like, you know what that is? That's the perfect Sasquatch deal there. Look at you on Mars.
Exactly.
Just like they do in the forest. That's what that looked like to me. I don't know if I buy that one.
Exactly. Well, here's another one. This is the skull. Okay, so you were talking about the skull a while ago, I think. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to zoom in on this because it's at the very top of the screen up there. It looks like an elongated skull.
It looks like a xenomorph.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to get a little bit closer now. Somebody superimposed a elongated skull and put it on top of that picture right there, just so you could get an idea of what it looks like. Maybe that's what they took that one and brought it down. I don't know, but there's that, and there. This is just kind of a comparison of like, well, this is what it could have looked like. So I'm not sure exactly how big that's supposed to be, but it does look like an elongated skull.
See, and that's taking us back to the different, almost Olmec type beings that were supposed to be on Mars, and at the face of Mars itself is supposed to be Olmec, but or similar to that, the same race. And that's interesting because that's where it keeps a lot of melanin extraterrestrials keep tying into Mars. It seems like it gets sequestered.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Man, that's interesting. But I think that's a cool find, though. That's a cool picture.
That also looks a lot like the one in, what was it, the redhead skulls too, from Caracas or wherever.
That's right.
Caracas, Peru looks a lot like those.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, are there just different missions that go to Mars that get all these like different rovers that get sent out? I mean, I don't even know how all this works.
Man,
how do they get all these pictures?
Have you ever seen all the satellites that have been to Mars? See if I can find it where you're talking.
No, I have not. I'm assuming there's been a lot.
Oh, it's unreal.
Really?
Yeah. I found it. I'll pull it up. Here, hold on, give me a second.
Oh yeah. I would love to see that because I've always wondered, like, I mean, has there been like how many missions have been sent there? I did not know it was a ton.
There's been ton. Yeah.
Okay. Because they keep getting all these pictures for us. And yes, I mean, I think a lot of them could be paranoia. I do. There was actually, NASA cut the feed to some video last week. Did you happen to pay attention to that? There was something going on. They had some, I don't know if it was the ISS. I don't know where it was at, but NASA cut the feed because a ship showed up.
I had heard something, but I didn't really get to investigate it or anything, to be honest. I heard something. Can you see that?
Okay. Oh my gosh. Yes, we can see that. Jeez. That's a lot.
Yep. And I think there's been a lot more than that. When you start looking at, when you look at this amount of stuff that's floating around Earth, it's very scary. And people don't even talk about like what we have here, the nano satellite grid. Leonid, Leonid. First time I heard about that was that guy Sanchez in UFO Highway years ago. It's like in early 2000, late 90s, whenever he had wrote that, he kept talking about that. At least maybe about 2005 or so. But anyway, that's a lot of stuff going there. And all the stuff on the surface that's moving around. And that stuff you were seeing in your data, on your surface data. You were seeing like tractor stuff and construction type stuff. which tells me that they're already using those digital twins to terraform that place.
The digital twins.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Digital twin cyborgs to terraform Mars. I think that takes us into this whole thing of how that's happening, what the neural programming is being used for, and it's it's a shame to where we'll have a place there. You're looking at like TRAPPIST-1. You'll think it was TRAPPIST-1.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We're kind of like how when Ingo Swann was looking at the moon, that city in the moon, he thought he was looking at somewhere in Nevada, a city in Nevada.
Oh my God, that was like me when I was looking at TRAPPIST-1. Yeah, like you said, like I thought I was in Earth in the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Golly. Yeah, I bet that's kind of
almost regretted that target. TRAPPIST.
Yeah, that's kind of trip you out when I give you the summary of what I think it is, and you're just like, oh my God, that's wild. So Barry, according to this map right here, to this diagram, those satellites that are on top of Mars that are like those are the ones that landed on Mars, right? And then the other ones are just satellites that circled the planet.
You got me there. Probably.
That's what I would assume.
Because I don't know if some of the satellites like release things too, while they're in orbit, like kind of like
probes.
Like Mother, like supposedly Leonid is connected by something called Mother, and Mother is a main satellite that dispatches it has auxiliary extra parts pieces and helps them do self-replication and self-repairing for the nano satellite. That's a system called Mother. So I don't know if we have something similar like that around Mars or what. Probably somebody in the chat knows. There's a lot of people know a billion more than I do about this. But it's interesting though. Richard Hoagland talked a lot about some of the mining things we were doing on Mars. And that was a long time ago. That's a book he wrote called The Monument of Mars. Whole bunch of stuff about that in there.
Oh wow!
But that's a lot of tax money, isn't it? Going to Mars.
Yeah, is that where all this money's going?
This takes us into something else real quick, and I won't say much more about this. I told you those frequencies, those radio frequencies that are being emitted from those implants, those biosensors, the semiconductors in people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a lot of them, I've seen them tied back to something called MILSAT, MILSAT, is where they were the origin. That's military satellite communications for entertainment purposes only. And if you look that up and look that logo up, you and I have showed the logo before.
Yeah.
You'll find that they have a $76 billion budget.
Billion with the B.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. And why are they? What purpose are they emitting radio frequencies to individuals that are programmable?
Programmable.
Well, they're programmable to programmable nanotechnology within our bodies. And then they can start generating these things that their experiences 21 and back, and then putting that into a digital twin.
The Homo borgenesis people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Real quick, there's that other part of Mars that was the Elysium quadrangle that you had looked at. Okay. And that I had said chronovisor, but actually they were calling them chronomonitors. And real quickly, what this book says about the chronomonitors on Mars and what they are is time measuring vehicles using time and space calibrations to measure information along grids on and in planetary surfaces. This time instrument established the nature of the biome and the growth schedule of the various intelligences.
Wow.
And you had kept saying that those pyramids in the quadrangle Elysium looked like they were artificial, or well, you didn't call them pyramids. You kept calling it artificial technology of some type, and you kept saying it was immense too.
Yeah. Huh.
Food for thought, everybody. That's all I can say. But you think so? Some of your theories about Mars are not just preposterous. You know what I mean? I don't think.
Yeah.
It could be any things you said, or even a number of things. But we know that's a planet of interest more than any others. I think the
It
next
sure is.
we go with Ceres and then Europa too. Don't think enough information is being paid to what might be going on in Europa. And if we look at things like really 2001 Space Odyssey, which is one of the first movies to really introduce us to Bracewell probes, something that comes from another civilization and makes established contact here. For them, it did. We're type 1 civilization. It made contact, you know. But the other focus of that movie was also Europa. They kept saying that movie Europa, and the extraterrestrial, they're saying Europa was very special, and said once they opened up the gateway for us to become galactic citizens in the 2001 movie, or was it 2010 they did it? Maybe 2010 they opened it up. They kept saying you can use the gateway to travel throughout all whatever time and space, but Europa's off limits. You don't go to Europa.
Oh, we need to remote view some of Europa targets.
I've almost given that to you before, but I tripped out and gave you
Yeah.
Make and Sedna.
Oh man. Well, I'll be expecting Europa at some point. That sounds interesting.
And
Yeah, that would make a great target.
And what I mentioned with the astrospeleologists, which are studying caves on places
Other
like
planets?
that, what they say about Europa and the type of extremophiles they think can exist there that's based on sulfur, excuse me. And you know how much we smell sulfur, oh God, excuse me, sulfur when it comes to, tongue-tied, when it comes to not just radiation, but cryptids and ghosts, a lot of these things, they have a sulfuric type of smell. Some of us even smell that on some craft. Not personally, I smell something a little different, but it's just, stuff that we got to try to at least find the commonalities,
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that might be, I've never been told that Europa was an off limits kind of target or anything. I was just told the moon. Be careful about the moon.
No, that was in the movie.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm just talking about in my real life is what I'm saying. I'm talking about
I think it's about time to crack the stuff on the moon.
Yeah.
I really do. I think that's about need to be cracked.
Needs to be cracked. Well, Nick Sylvester came on. I had my friend Nick Sylvester was on the show last week, and he was saying that, the moon is 100% a spacecraft, an Andromedan spacecraft that was been repurposed. Okay, but I don't know.
Well, I can say this: we can just lump that in with the other 100 things I've heard about the moon.
Yeah, we've heard.
And I tend to kind of go back to the consistency that I've seen between three individuals when it comes to moon activity. Well, really 4. I think what Ingo Swann saw was pretty accurate too, but that's only people that read penetration. Sorry, I think I met that brother once that did that movie in the City Ranch. So I always think mind comes to brother from Lone Wolf McQuaid. Anyway, it's just I don't know. It's pretty interesting. But but all these things about the moon is I don't. Why is nobody even talking, especially about, like, for example, the Chinese it was a program called Chang, I believe, Chang 3 but anyway, I did a video over it, but we never heard about anything they discovered on the far side of the moon. Nothing they saw. Heard nothing about it. They had a big project going to the far side of the moon. That's been several years ago. We've heard nothing about that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's just at least I haven't, but for example, like I have past life memories of there being 2 moons in the sky here.
Yeah. 2 moons?
Yeah. And, you hear things about there was a war here, and you start hearing about different factions. Was it the Atlanteans against against Mu, or after Mu broke up? Was Atlanteans after What's
Oh,
what were you gonna say?
yeah. No, you just reminded me of something when you said
Lemurian.
moo or mew.
Yeah,
You said,
Lemurian Knights at War.
well, let's transition from let's bridge this conversation into the other thing that I wanted to talk about before we go today, and that is the Baltic Sea Anomaly. Okay, because some people think, are you familiar with this thing? Because it's been around. They've been knowing about this thing for a while now, and they're saying, I mean, scientists, researchers, whatever, they're saying, well, it's either some kind of spacecraft at this point, or it could be Atlantis or like Mu or something. It could be like a full out city, okay, that's moving underneath the water in the Baltic Sea right now, Barry.
Well,
I know, right? Here, I'm going to pull
no.
this up.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something.
Okay.
I'm gonna jar your memory again.
Okay, let's do it.
Another target we did, and why I had you do it.
Okay.
Because I had a theory that actually what I've seen is it was an inner Earth ship.
Oops.
That comes up every so many years to charge the solar cells for
Hi, Brazil.
solar magnetic charged crystals. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and and that's why. And when it actually is doing that, it creates its generation, that life energy they pull from the water, also creates that mist effect, and that's why there's mist around high Brazil like that when it actually appears. So, what you're saying about the Baltic Sea thing, to me, that always is kind of tied. I have heard about that one before, and I've always kind of tied it into that. That's one of these huge craft that is both either under the earth, in the sea, or like I've said before, within our biosphere too, our deep biosphere of the earth too, that people don't talk about. An organic craft could exist there quite comfortably on the bacterial and fungal symbiotic level.
Oh,
So
man.
keep going. So I don't think that's my opinion on that. I don't laugh at it. You know what I mean? I don't think it's such a crock.
Yeah.
We start talking about crypto terrestrials.
Uh-huh.
I remember there was the thing that was talk about like the 8th place on Earth that was supposed to be, what was the name of it? Crethia, where there were supposed to be beings there that were similar to like a Sasquatch that had some type of biokinetic ability and a low light of the Earth that they can't, so they can see at night and do those things. And they have this biokinetic effect on people because of the geomagnetic structure of their magnetic fields of their body too, and that they can affect humans through the optic nerves. And that sounds a lot like what Sasquatch is capable of. And we start dealing with their inner earth access. Is that where they're also from? Is that where they go when they're not around? I've asked this stuff before and no one could seem to answer it. So just again, food for stuff thought, right? Food for stuff.
It
Food
is.
for thought. Sorry, food for thought. I'm tired.
Gosh, I love how you connect all these dots, Barry. Okay,
Well,
let me.
Wigged out.
I think it's pretty awesome. Okay, so this is let me tell the audience what this Baltic Sea anomaly is. It's a circular structure. It's about 3,000 square meters in length, and it's about 90 meters in depth. So 3,000 square meters, that's in full. Okay,
Wow.
And then 90 meters depth. Through sonar, they're discovering that it is not connected to the seafloor. It is given off an electromagnetic pulse, which seems to mess up all electronic devices get close to it, and divers become sick, and their body temperature plummets when they get close to it. Now, it's either some sort of a ship or something like Atlantis or Mu or something, is what some people are saying. And there are thousands of reports of course, of other underground spaceships or underwater anomalies. I mean, we've covered some of these underwater anomalies, several of them over the years, Barry, you and I together. Now, this says in 2011, now this is from the news.com.pk, and says in 2011, Peter Lindbergh, Dennis Asperg, and the Ocean X diving team found the anomaly while searching the Gulf of Bothnia in the form of an unusual artificial circular shape characterized by central depression and stair-like ridges, sparking different theories related to UFOs and a sunken city, Barry. Most of the experts attributed the circular symmetry to a natural geological formation shaped by glacial processes. The samples retrieved from the site consisted of sandstone, granite, and gneiss, indicating a natural process that occurred during the last ice age. But Swedish wreck diver Dennis Asperg, co-founder of OceanX, emphasized on the artificial origin of the shape on the grounds of unprecedented observations. And they said that there's some more oddities to it. It is detached from the seafloor. Okay, so there's new evidence based on the latest sub-bottom profiling. The circular structure was found to be detached from the seabed, thereby downplaying the theory of natural origin. It is resting on the seafloor, not rising out of it. In 15 years, this is the most important data related to this Baltic Sea anomaly. And it has perfect right angle geometry. There's a presence of metallic components, Barry. And it says, the lab test revealed organic material and basalt in the samples. The presence of basalt goes against the natural occurrence of the structure. Also, there are tech malfunctions. They say that during the multiple expeditions to go look at it, the team recorded GPS failures, electromagnetic interference, and cameras shutting down over the object. And let's see, for the temperature, the water temperature around the object was recorded to be nearly 0 degrees Celsius compared to other parts of the Baltic Sea. And a large circular opening appeared to be pushing sediment in and out, described as breathing, more like a biological organism. The presence of biological debris also deepens mystery about the nature and origin. And long before the discovery, Dennis also witnessed 600 to 700 meter cigar-shaped craft flying over a Swedish plutonium facility. And this is just the people that were doing this investigation of this thing. What do you think? I mean, we talk about living crafts, right, Barry? Living craft. I mean, could there be a living craft on the bottom of the sea?
I'm trying to remember. Maybe it was even the conference I saw you at. Well, I've been to several of them with him now. Brad Olson. I thought he did a presentation where he talked about this and said he thought it was a crashed craft in the Baltic Sea. And also he talked about another one in Russia or somewhere else. I could be wrong, but I thought maybe Brad had talked about this. Something that it brings to my mind, though, is that we start talking about there's other solar magnetically charged photonic crystals, okay, like we're existing in Atlantis and other places, and some of them are sunken, and I think that's what makes the Bermuda Triangle so unstable, okay, especially dimensionally in other ways. It's those crystals. They're still pulsing down there. They're still active. And that thing there sounds like something similar to me, honestly. It may be.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it may be. Yeah, it may be ancient in terms that it's petrified, but what's underneath the petrification, like some of the stuff they're saying there, just food for thought. And just to kind of, if I was looking for data on it, I would be curious how many ships crash or vanish in the Baltic Sea, like compared to the Bermuda Triangle and the Devil's Triangle, where I think those crystals are still active dimensionally.
That's a good question.
The things that are remnant from ancient Earth still,
Hillbilly Herb says, weird how much it looks like the Millennium Falcon, though.
Well, it really does. Now he says that.
Yeah.
I've got a friend, my friend Bill Spicer. He takes these pictures with the quantum observational technique, and he's got a picture of one that looks like a Millennium Falcon, and he's got like two that look like what's the other one? X-wings, like the one in the first Star Wars, X-wings. I think, yeah, X-wing. Mm-hmm. He's got one that looks like that coming out of the sky too. It's real fascinating, But he's right. That does look like the Millennium Falcon. I mean, to be honest with you, damn, it looks like they just took a model of it, stuck it in there.
It sure does.
It's almost identical, man. That's a good call. That's a real good call. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like extreme pareidolia or whatever. That's good. Wow.
Yeah. I think it's interesting. I think that it's something to, just add to the conversation today because this is, people are talking about it. And I think that it's important that Fap's never seen Star Wars. I think that it's important that just to bring it to the table for the conversation because we do talk about all these underground aquatic aliens, the biodomes under the ocean where allegedly there are elites staying down there and all that kind of stuff. These cities. I mean, they were saying this could be Atlantis, is what one of the theories is. All right, what are the probabilities of that being Atlantis down there, Barry?
I think right now Randall Carlson has probably the greatest evidence of where Atlantis was, and it wasn't there. Yeah. I mean, we start dealing with so many underground, you notice everything's always Atlantis. What I mentioned earlier, the Eye of Africa, everybody, that was Atlantis. That's what Plato was talking about. That was it, because it's got the circular configuration.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody thought that was Atlantis. You look into the Atlantis book, it says it was somewhere else. All these different things. When the truth is, we had so many different civilizations, advanced civilizations on this planet before the deluge that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes. 11 Black Lamb says, is there Baltic electric fog like in Bermuda Triangle? Whoa.
That's
electric
a good
fog.
That's a good question.
You know what? So speaking of electric fog, too, Barry, when I was up at Montauk, we went up there for the 20-year anniversary of that biorhythmic portal opening where the USS Eldridge was supposed to come through. And that morning we woke up and it was the only morning ever that we were there for over a week. And it was the only day that it was so foggy you couldn't see in front of your face. You couldn't see your hand in front of your face. It was so foggy over the entire island at Camp Hero and all over Montauk. And that's what we had people posted all around the bluff, the beach, in the ocean, and boats in town, because we were trying to see if this ship was coming back through when that portal was supposed to open that day. And the people out in the boat did say that there was lightning in the fog. It was like blue and green lightning, actually, in the fog. And so we don't know if they were like covering up this portal opening or what. But there was electric. It was almost like electric fog, kind of. So, anyways,
this is something similar said with the Yellowstone fog. Remember Noble Target? The Yellowstone fog and the Gugly?
Yep.
There's like activity like that reported with that fog too.
Oh,
and then we start dealing with any of these contraptions or machines that are from what we would call ancient Earth, where there was the ability to convert energy into matter and matter into energy much more than what we have now. In terms of, so any of those, and some of those devices were also fueled by the personal kundalini of the person using it.
Mm-hmm.
You start dealing with all sorts of factors. And one of them is that byproduct of when you start converting the water into life energy, into prana and orgone to a degree. It starts creating that byproduct of fog and of this mist. I've seen it on board craft. I've had to breathe it in, and it can be used to surround the craft for cloaking as well, forming what we call lenticular clouds. And, I used to think it was on purpose. As far as I know, it's a simple byproduct of the conversion process. That's only the ones I've been on board. I can't speak for everything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But when dealing with that, one last thing I'll say, I've had experience dealing with these beings that were non-physical aquatics. And they talked about building a type of a crystal in one of our oceans that's dimensionally off from us. Really? And they were saying that there's some type of a frequency that can be used to, they said there's something on Earth called, I never heard this word, that's why I can mix up. They called it transonial enlightenment, as in TRANSONIAL enlightenment. Not been able to find references really for it. But they said it's a certain frequency that keeps the Earth in basically in harmonic with the rest of the celestial bodies. and then it's off there, and humanity is killing it. So they're building this crystal to try to revive it. But it says that there's communicated to me that they're military factions that know how to make a way to call these different beings here, and they're trying to use that frequency to disrupt the crystal matrix that they're building in that thing, to stop that work from happening, to stop Earth from coming in harmony. That happened to me a very, very long time ago. Okay, I did a YouTube video on it that I never released publicly. It was just too personal. You know what I mean? But it was odd. And it started off, I'll tell you how it started off, Jessica. I was doing these deep meditations, and night after night, I would see this damn wavy green light. And it's just right there. It's cool, kind of, but it was a trip. It's just always there in my meditation. Then I started being able to perceive it when I'm out of the meditation. After the meditation, my eyes open. You know, like my third eye still just boom, this wavy green light. And finally, we started communicating. And that's what it started telling me. Called his name Oshar, O-S-H-A-R. I don't get names for most of those beings. And he gave me a planet, Obanar, O-B-N-A-R. Said it came from outside the space-time continuum. Not the first time I had to deal with that. So not just outside our space-time continuum, there can be aquatic planets. It's showing me a water planet that has towards the core where there is more solidity, these huge crystalline cities. There's huge crystals that are actually inhabited by consciousness only, like individual consciousness.
Wow.
And that has something to do with the transonial enlightenment that's dying in the human race and on Earth. This is stuff I just tell you that is the experiences I had. You know what I mean? This I wasn't taking on board the craft. This thing is showing me that. This green wavy light that I thought was just me tripping out for a long time. It must be my great pineal gland exercises. You know what I mean? That stuff, man. So, especially when you're a little bit younger. But when you start dealing with concepts like this ship here, the Millennium Falcon, we could call it. I really like that.
The Falcon. Yeah.
We call it a petrified Millennium Falcon. Yeah, I like that. But when dealing with that, or this Baltic Sea potential ship, or the inner Earth craft and things like that, deep biosphere, this all counts. It all needs to be put together. And that being, it told me there were several races working on this crystal thing, but it was dimensionally out of sync with us.
Wow.
You know? And I can't remember. I've written it down, but it was somewhere like that. It wasn't the Baltic Sea, but it was somewhere they were building this thing. And I had to imagine the notion that Jessica was just absolutely huge. Absolutely huge.
Oh, wow.
Submerged. So you guys are on my Patreon. Look for the video. It's called Oshar and Transonial Enlightenment.
Wow. That's pretty fascinating. I've got like light coming into my space here.
It's the mystical powers of the B-dub.
I know, right? Oh my gosh. I know. I don't know what's going on.
You better run. You better get away from it. It's a trap. It's a trap.
I know. Well, I'm usually by the time the sun comes through my window, I'm usually gone. But my son's out of school this week for the holiday. So that's why we went over our time usually. I'm usually out of here 20 minutes from now, earlier.
It's late.
Yeah. It is getting late. I know. Well, yes. Well, we have the Thanksgiving holiday this week, so usually the sun. I just beat the sun right before it hits my face. But anyways, this is interesting. From OM33, that is how the main big space arc is powered by a big crystal with a plastic consciousness entangled with it. Interesting.
A lot of the other civilization use the crystalline technology. I showed one yesterday, that crystalline engine thing, or I think it's a brain that I've been around that can heal human flesh and stuff like that. I mean, that stuff gets really serious. So that one, and this thing, like I said, this thing was huge. It was like over 10 feet. Like the crystals themselves were bigger than a basketball goal, and they were glowing inside that chemical bioluminescence that a lot of their stuff has. You know what I mean? So that's and it's interesting because I think it's not just a power source, but I think it's life conscious also. Those crystals. Yeah. And what point is it when that thing started spinning there? And I couldn't see the crystals anymore. Looked like when things spin too fast. And I know they're using the Kashmir effect between two metal plates, zero point energy effect there. Okay, but what is it with the being would tell me that, hey, this cannot just power planetoids and legion ships, it can also heal human flesh. And I know they could do that stuff consciously, energy body, but human flesh, why? And it had something to do with that hum I was hearing. A lot of people have heard that hum when they've been in a seen a craft or been inside one that woo, 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 woo. It sounds like the bull roar that the doggone tribe elder swings on that chain.
Oh yeah! Wow.
Another one of the deal on my channel I recorded by my old BlackBerry phone. God, I hate the name of that phone. Anyway, but it was oh, that's a social nightmare for me. That name of that phone. I'm serious. When I come out
sorry,
of my
Barry.
coma,
That's funny.
I've been in coma for almost 2.5 weeks. I remember who I am. My father hands me a phone. He said, "Hey, I got your phone transferred over. I got a new one. The other one was destroyed in the deal, and it was a BlackBerry." I said, "Oh God, I didn't like the sorry phone. I certainly didn't like the name on it." I was like, "Man, that's no good." Anyway, point being, yeah,
That's funny.
I recorded a thing of the doggone In Search Of with Leonard Nimoy, and on that video, it's you can see the doggone elder standing on the rock, swinging it. I think it's called a bull roar, I think, but it's a beetle. They like put like a thing through, and it makes that noise. But I swear to you, it sounds like the craft. That's why I knew. I said, no doubt somebody's heard that, you know.
Yeah.
And I've heard it inside the craft. It vibrates you, and I've heard it on the outside. And I'm a firm believer. If there was the other timeline I've seen, where these craft appear over major cities, just like 2 minutes before the attack could happen or anything, and opposed to creating the huge fear, that vibration I'm talking about nullifies a lot of the fear, like it did in my personal encounters. Look, my testicular fortitude is okay, but look, come on, when you get in touch, when you get a non-human in front of you, or you're really not doing some CE5 stuff, and those ships come up on you, and you start getting all blissed out and zoned out. I mean, it's disconcerting to a degree. You know what I mean? I'm very paranoid when that stuff happens. When I'm in the presence of a non-human, I'm paranoid. It freaks me out. It's not happened in a while, but man.
Testicular fortitude. That's always funny when you say that.
Well, try to get a little bit, but it's like, man, man. That's why I warn people. I say, CE5, yeah, it's fine. Let them ships come too close. And suddenly you're missing a bunch of time.
Oh man. Or your kids go missing for the night and show back up. I mean, that's what happened to that family. I got contacted by that family up in North Georgia. It was actually a mutual friend of ours. Where that woman, the mother was like calling in ships. And she wasn't even using CE5. She was like psychically tuning into them or something, and she thought it was fun. And she was doing it, showing her friends and like showing off and stuff. And they were laughing about it. And then suddenly her kids were like getting affected in the mornings. Their grades dropped. They were tired. They had circles under their eyes. They were in a bad place. And then they started setting up cameras around the house at night outside. And I have multiple pictures that were sent to me of ETs looking in their windows. And so, yeah, they were desperate trying to get help to make it stop.
There's something I call this: when tricksters masquerade as aliens. And, we have these not just screen memories they do, but there's an alien probe too. And those are really demonic activities there.
Yeah.
And, so that, when dealing with that, and that's the best thing is that they can show up as, instead of letting you see they're truly demonic of whatever form they might have, those appear to be extraterrestrials. They might look like that. They might not. But I mean, it's a very good screen memory for attack.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Andrew, I'm not sure. It says, what ET species was she contacting? She was just trying to call in UFOs because it was cool. I don't think she knew what she was doing. But I can tell you what the ETs look like. They're like a bunch of grays, like of all different shapes and sizes too. It was weird. Some of them were tall and some of them were little. They were all different. You could see a difference in their face. Like their faces look different. And
what did Credo said? Credo Mudwa called those grays. He said they were from our future, and there was a thing I think he called them Mendingo. and it means like something similar to that, and it means tormentor of humans. And he said, and that was what shocking. Okay, look, I've always looked for verification, okay? Because being a brother, I watched wherever came forward. I talked to some black contactees, those that I found out that would talk to me, and then also Caucasians. I'm trying to figure out where I fit in. You know what I mean? What are the differences? And I could never find many examples of black people being abducted by grays.
Really?
Not until I have now, but I couldn't at first. It wasn't common. Okay, but then one of the first we heard about it was Credo. Credo said he'd been abducted by grays, and he said it was quite common in Africa. But he said that he didn't call them grays; he called them these Mandingos. He said they're from the future. He said they all look; these are different types. He said, but look at how many of them walk around with no suits on. They're naked. They're from here. Why are they compatible with us genetically? And then he said something else when he called them. He said, I was in that experience. They're doing these things, all the things we've heard about, they're taking some sperm, they're torturing them, all that stuff. He said, but the face of these beings, he said, they were enjoying it. Not that they were smiling, but he could feel that they were taking some pleasure in torturing humans. And that's when he started saying, they're us from the future. That's why they hate us.
Sounds demonic or something.
It does to a degree, but look what happens on this planet right now. Some that look just like you and me, as human as you and me, and they come through the same birth process as you and I, there's something wrong with them. They're like demonic. They can't love. There's something wrong.
But you know what? But you know what? They taste like chicken. I'm just kidding. Didn't Credo eat one? He ate an alien, didn't he?
Oh, the grays. Yeah. He talks about eating a gray.
That's what I'm saying. The grays taste like chicken, probably, right?
He said that was a way of passage for the Sangoma. And, I wanted to ask Jessie Hotbrook about that, but she passed away, unfortunately. And she was a Sangoma, too. She ran a group that I'm in on Facebook. But she passed away, because I want to ask her if she'd ate one. Greedo says way of passage. He said that there's some type of a tree. I guarantee somebody in your group knows the name of that tree. But that's the tree that they can cut through a gray's the suit the most. And he said the inside, they look like these fleshless, vein-like things inside. And then they cook them up and eat them. It's a terrible taste that is worth like eating like more than ayahuasca. And if it doesn't kill you, then after you get real super extremely sick for a day or so, then you go on this total euphoria thing. Real interesting, I think I would bow out of that ceremony, but that's just me.
Yeah, it's gonna take a whole lot of hot sauce, Bigfoot dwarf, to eat one of those grays. Man, what a fantastic discussion we've had today, Barry. This has been really awesome.
Well, it's cool because it's unscripted. It was kind of spontaneous. So.
It's all of our shows are spontaneous, Barry. Even the remote viewing shows, like we have the data, we have some information, but then it's just like, boom, cut the cameras on and let's roll, And I can appreciate that.
Well, it's cool because we've done enough work together now that we're really starting to pull a lot of data points together. And for other people too, they can pull it, however they want to do it, but the information is there. It's to a portion unbiased, data-based. And I think that's, it's important. I've gotten more information through the work you and I have done than some of my own hypothesis, some of what I was seeing. I've said it before, I was telling a friend earlier this morning that when he's seeing is actually seeing the universe by energy as it flows, seeing energy directly. That's what seeing is. It doesn't mean when you look at a person, you see all this different colors and all the stuff around them, and you're that type of a medium psychic. It's visual. It doesn't mean like that. You might be like me. You just see the energy field. With what I used to think I was psychic. I did a video called Psychically Colorblind because I went through years thinking I couldn't really see because they weren't these beautiful pictures like in, what is it? There's a book by Kundalini or the Kundalini book by Janella Paulson where just all the pictures are so pretty. I wasn't seeing like that, so I figured I must not be able to see, and that's wrong. That's incorrect. I could see the assemblage point where actually we put our world together. I could see the overall energy field of people, and I could see dead people. You know what I mean? But I didn't take it because it's not what I was reading, and that's where things I think are kind of inappropriate, for us. So as people anyway. So that's just important. You know what I mean? When dealing with all this type of stuff and people acknowledging what they can do and getting credit for what they can do. Anyway, so bringing this stuff together was important because it allows people to see in a data fashion beyond what I knew. And I've learned things more. I guarantee you, I wouldn't have said, hey, before I was working with Jessica, hey, I just knew there's no doubt in my mind that the Moe were mushroom robots. There's no doubt about that. You know, that's obvious to everybody, right?
Mushroom robots. Yeah, that was the weirdest thing ever. I can't even believe that data was like even like it made any sense. I cannot believe it made sense to you.
Well, then it was able to be backed up, though.
Yeah.
You saw that's really something that we're doing now. And they moved like Moe probably moved, those mushroom robots.
I think I wrote mycelium in that data, right? It was like mycelium robots.
Mycelium robot.
I thought it was absolutely crazy. But then you were like, no, that's what I thought it was.
There it is. I had to have stuff fall on my toe to see it. But here is that book. It's a good book in terms of energy stuff, you know. But I'll tell you, but when you look at the pictures, though, I thought like, man, I wasn't seeing exactly the pictures all colored like that. So I was like, man, I must not be seeing right. You know what I mean? And they have even more beautiful pictures in there than that, where you're the yellow, all the stuff around people, and I wasn't seeing that. So, I must not be really psychic. But I wasn't acknowledging what I was seeing visually. I didn't know. And then on top of that, what I was picking up in other ways from people that was telepathic, telethought. I thought everybody could do that stuff. I was one talking about it. You know, till you figure out, you start thinking to people and they can't think back. Nobody answers. They're just looking at you. They don't even look at you.
Yeah.
It's a trip because we're on a planet now. If you do that to a young kid, like even your son's age or even younger than that, you know, where they're really young and their telepathy's not shut off yet, you think to them, say something to them, and I've had someone turn and look at you. They'll be like, who in the hell are you to think to me? Because they know it's not normal down here. Most people can't do it. I'm hoping that that's changing also, because you know what, Jessica, if our telepathy was more of a major communication way here, like remote viewing is becoming, our society would be different because you won't be able to lie to people. Like
Exactly. I think that's why people run from me sometimes, because they're like, oh, she's that remote viewer. She can read my mind. I'm just kidding. I don't think people actually know that I can do that. It's my secret.
Maybe by now you may have been exposed now, my friend. Yeah.
I know. I'm kidding.
I think the word is
I choose not to read minds. Okay.
But yeah, it's I think it's good, because what you're doing is I think the way that the universe communicates more is through a type of remote viewing, and it's going to go to another level. You know what I mean? And it's real interesting, real interesting.
Oh yeah.
Because I think that's how things are changing here, and it's just so subtle. It's not the way anyone's saying. You know what I mean? It's not going to be ever this great disclosure. It's not going to be. It's going to be the people that awake and do everything. And it's happening, and they kind of can't stop it now because of the mode of communication. The only way to stop it is through training people with technology in terms of enslavement.
Yeah. It's replacing all of our telepathy and telethought, I guess you call it, psychic abilities and stuff. It's artificial intelligence. When we have our own intelligence right here, we are the machine, right?
Yep.
And so it's just waking up to all that. And Hillbilly Herb, he said that's totally why psychics scare normies. Yeah, they've got stuff to hide. You know, the people that have come out the hardest gunning for me are the ones with the most to hide. And I'll just tell y'all that straight up real talk right there. Well, usually people that come at
why would anybody be gunning for you?
That's a good question. I don't do it to anybody.
You're doing your own thing. You're doing your own work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And interesting is, you're not like me. You don't throw people on the bus. I'll tell people to, I'm a Generation X. I'll tell you to suck it. I don't hold it back.
Barry, I'm on the verge right now. I'm about this close to throwing a bunch of people under the bus right now. Because I can.
Jessica, are people giving people? Are they giving each other awards?
No, I don't think so.
No, but I mean, but and it's a trip, because you're still holding on though, my friend. When we first met, I want to say that I felt like I don't like the word Debbie Downer, but it's kind of what I felt like, because I told you a lot of the people in this stuff suck. And I wasn't going to work with anybody more. And I was like, remember I told you, I said, this is the last conference I'm doing. I'm out of this stuff. And I've said that many times, though, but I was like, I've done what I'm supposed to do. I'm not taking no more abuse. I'm not going to deal with more of these phonies. I'm just done. And then somehow that changed. You're one of the people that changed that. You know what I mean? But then I saw you go through it. Some people, sometimes the things would come up. You said, oh, they're good people. I just look at you. I said, no, they're not. You know what I mean? And
well, I had to learn for myself, Barry.
And then one day we were eating lunch with some people, and I said it from some other people, some people I didn't like. And there are people that are fairly well known. They looked at me like, whoa. And I felt bad. But it's real. I'm just being honest. And what happened? Those people turned out to be absolute DICKS, didn't they?
I can't say you've been wrong. You haven't. I don't think you've ever been wrong.
You got to put a caps lock on it. I be wrong a lot. Just I'm a good read of people. You know what I mean? That's both through natural ability, and I went to school for that stuff. You know what I mean? So I can read people really good. But it's a pleasure working with you, because you're not like that, and you attract a big audience of people that aren't like that. You know what I mean?
I have the best audience.
Really cool. And you've got a bunch of people that are contacting me that follow you, and they're not in the chat. They say, I never get in the chat, but I watch the shows. Sometimes it might be later. I mean, they binge on the shows that we've done. And it's a trip, you know. Until recently, I didn't realize, gosh, how many we've really done. So thank you, because otherwise I was not going to go any further with this. I might have done a few more videos, but nothing like this. I certainly would never have went live, ever. I was against going live. You have no idea.
That's why I'm your technical support, okay? So because I think that you do a great job at it, and you've got so much to discuss. So it's wonderful. I'm glad you're doing it. I am.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah. It's a brother that talks too much and all tripped out. That's what I do.
Well, we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah. But so definitely keep doing what you're doing, and keep breaking the barriers and going forward. And I like it because you do a lot more than stuff than just me, and you've got a nice flavor of stuff. You know what I mean? And it's really emphasizes something that I'm really trying to adopt more, and emphasize that it's not always about being right or wrong. It's about, we all have different experiences in making the tapestry to understand it. And I know when it comes to like earthbound spirits, I get strict on that. That's because I've done the work, and there's a lot of suffering going on. I don't like suffering. It's not cool when you see the client suffering in their personal life, and it's not cool when the earthbound starts telling you stuff that I no one hears me, I can't express myself, and they're trapped. So they're jumping on other people trying to do it through them. And it ruins both. You know what I mean? That's just horrible. And somebody that has a situation, you might be married. Let's say somebody's married, you got a great marriage. You get jumped by one of these earthbound spirits. Let's say I'll just use you as an example, and it's a dude, okay? And the dude hates your husband, and he hates it when y'all have sex. Can't stand it.
God.
No, I've had these earthbounds telling me that. So what do they do? They try to do everything to sabotage your marriage. Everything possible. Attack that husband and everything. Check him out. See what weaknesses he has. We don't like this. You don't like that. Go for it.
Oh, man. I guess that explains my divorce then. I'm just kidding.
I didn't mean that in a personal way like that. By any stretch.
I'm not saying I didn't get jumped. Maybe the other person did.
Well, I mean, it's real easy. It's real easy.
But that happens, though. You know, it's interesting to bring that to the public's attention, too, because, a lot of people don't understand why people change on a dime and things like that, and their personalities completely shift from one. And there's a lot of different. We can't just blame it all on that, of course, but it is an option. It's like, well, maybe that's why I'm always encouraging the audience to keep your vibrational frequency high, so you're less likely to be jumped by one of these lower vibrational entities. Don't be on that level with it, because it'll just bounce off of you if it tries to jump in you. Okay. Sure. If you're on a higher vibration. Yeah. Speaking of higher vibration, real quick, let me take a commercial break. T2E, TTOOEE, toe. Thank you for that super sticker. I appreciate your support so much. Thank you for the live. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. And we do have the best audience. We really do. Some of the best.
Come over to my platform. Really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
Real quick on something we were just talking on. These aren't always demonic. I want people to know that sometimes these are just people. Like one I dealt with, I don't know how long ago it was now, not all that long, but young cat that died in an accident on the way to college. And kept telling me, he said, my parents are so strict. I could never get away. I could never have any fun. I was going to college and I wanted to party, just party.
Hey, that sounds like me.
But then I died and I can't do anything. It's all over now. I can't have any fun.
Oh no.
So we ran from the
fella.
light, and he said, then I started jumping other people, but they were all going to school, just starting, and they were partying. Or I'd start jumping other parties, and I'd get them to party harder and harder. Then he started telling me this, but then after a while, it didn't last as long. It didn't feel as good. I get him to we party a little, and it just goes away. So then I started telling him, hurt people. I was like, we hurt people. Well, I heard some hurt people. Most of the people around them I didn't like. So
that's terrible. That's terrible.
That person, and they're just urging that person to do that, but it's a behavior pattern, and they're not on the outside of the energy field. So even the media may go say, "Hey, you've got a spirit with you." These things are so entwined in the energy.
Yeah. So y'all, let this be a lesson to everybody listening. Don't get on a low vibration, y'all. Okay, if you're in one, let's try to keep it positive. Tune into our shows and have some good laughs with us. Okay. That will be the best way to raise your frequency, and clapping your hands and stomping your feet and having a good time. Okay. Because we don't want to get these low vibrational entities making us hurt ourselves and hurt other people. Cause they say hurt people, right? And I've had several hurt people trying to hurt me lately. Okay. So I just have to remove myself.
Misery loves company. You know that.
Yeah. Well, Barry, do you have any advice for the audience? I know we've got, this is an emotional week for a lot of people because it's a holiday when we're getting together with our families. A lot of us have lost our loved ones, and it's kind of sad, but it's also a beautiful time as well. Do you have any advice? And I also want to thank real quick before you answer this, Injaneb, I don't know how to say your name. Thank you so much for gifting 5 Cryptid Hunters memberships to the Hunt Club. Thank you so much. That is so sweet of you. I appreciate your support so much. Okay, but Barry, do you have any advice for people for like dealing with the holidays and like trying to stay on a higher vibe, maybe to like to put up energetic boundaries with people and stuff? What do you say to that?
Oh, wow, it's a heavy one.
I know. But we need this right now.
Well, here's something that happens, okay? When we have the dark forces attack us, especially those that know how to protect ourselves, okay, they got to create these cracks in our shielding. And the way they do that is through our loved ones often, especially during the holidays. All right. So, a way to kind of being aware of that is step number one. And just being aware that those attacks are coming in like that from just people that and this is outside forces. So keeping your mindset right is one thing, definitely. And another thing, if you think it's dark forces that are attacking you, I was mentioning this yesterday a lot, is that people have to learn how to really trigger their intent of will. And in this case, it's going to be through visualization too. And it's pushing these things away from you, getting them away from you, stating it out loud. Leave me alone, get away. All these things, something about these bodies when we do an atonement of protection helps as well. So I think that's real. And just to be aware that they're using trapped emotions in all of us to bring that up for more trauma. We got these negative identities, all these things, different parts of the body actually store different traumas we go through in our life and past life traumas and the traumas of our ancestors. It's like, gee, great. You know what I mean? But that's where these beings attach to. So keep your shielding up. Keep your vibe up. Keep your creative visualization and imagination up. It's really important, especially around this time right now, because it's the stinking thinking that they do that gets them enough energy to start messing with their lives and start manifesting through our pineal gland to do things in the third dimension. So be aware that they start internally first. And just other things, that's just some things, but the holidays are just hard. Like for me, I miss people like my mother. My mother celebrated Christmas like no other, and Thanksgiving because she was born on New Year's Day and my dad's born on New Year's Eve. So I know all about those Capricorns, but it was kind of a special time with her not here. It's like just not the same. Still cool, but it's not the same. Not even
It's
the
not
grub
the
is
same.
the same. The grub was better. You know, everything was better.
Oh yeah, the food was better.
Yeah. So sometimes
Oh,
having those that might not be with us, and there's a wise
yeah,
old saying, like the Navajos say, as long as somebody still lives that remembers you, you never truly die.
that's
You know
true.
what I mean? I think that's important. You know, we're
Oh
all
yeah,
little pieces of who we are that we meet along the way, and that goes on
yeah,
the
we
soul
are.
level too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, well, if anybody follows me on social media, I did put a picture of my brother's birthday was yesterday. This has been 20 years since he died, and so and it just seems like yesterday. You know what I mean? He would have been 42 yesterday, and he died in January 20 years ago. So
So,
in an accident, yeah. So it's
was it
a lot
correct?
of us. It was a car accident. Yeah, it was a car accident. One of his race cars. Yeah,
Oh, really? I'm sorry. Gosh.
yeah, yeah. But
You know, something I think you should mention too. You should tell people something you told me the other day.
what's that?
You know how to build engines.
Don't
I
tell.
thought that was
You
cool,
don't gotta
man.
tell everybody.
I thought that was cool. What? You threw me out of General Hospital. Everybody knows I watch General Hospital now. I'm throwing it out. You build engines.
My dad. Well, that was like it was almost like punishment when I was a kid. Having to
Wow.
like go build it. Yeah, because I drove a quarter. It was called a quarter midget, so it wasn't like a huge like vehicle, like a regular vehicle type of engine. It was like a little hot rod engine for my race car and stuff. My dad would make us go in there and work on our engines and put things together with him and change out the brakes and do whatever on our cars and stuff when I was a kid. So yeah,
Change out some
yeah.
brake pads. Can you turn some rotors?
Oh yeah, I know how to do all
Turn the
that.
rotors.
Now, do I like doing it? No, not really. But I mean, I'll do it if I had to. Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
work on
I
body
ain't
too, or
scared.
just internals?
Work on the body of the cars?
Yeah.
No, not really. I mean, my dad did all that stuff. He did all that. I didn't. Yeah, there wasn't much to work on with as far as the body went. I was basically driving a roll cage
Oh, okay, gosh.
with a nose and a back, like a cone on the back kind of thing, like a fiberglass. So yeah, wasn't a whole lot of body to it. It was all roll cage. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, good times, man. Yes,
I can't believe you're
I'm a
close to
car
my age.
girl.
You raced cars
Yeah,
and you never saw the movie Stroker Ace with Burt Reynolds. I can't
no,
believe
I don't think
it.
so. No, no, I don't think so. I watched Smokey and the Bandit though. That was a good one.
How could you miss Stroker Ace with
I don't know.
Lottie, whatever her name is from
I have no
WKRP in
idea.
Cincinnati? Yeah,
I have no
that's
idea.
Stroker Ace. I'm Stroker Ace. The only thing I
Yeah.
like better than racing is stuffing Torkel chicken in my face. Yeah, that was what I was
What?
getting that movie.
Oh my
That's
god.
they made him promote this chicken named Torkel Chicken to get his
Oh,
race car.
is this sponsor?
Yeah, so he said, I'm Stroker Ace.
Oh my
Only thing I
god.
like more than racing is stuffing Torkel chicken in my face.
Oh my god.
That was the only
Man,
guy
I
that
know.
played one. Gomer Pyle was the other star in that movie. Jim
Terrible
Neighbors,
movie.
Burt Reynolds, and Lonnie, whatever her last name was.
Oh man.
Sorry,
That is too
I
funny.
promise somebody in the chat knows it. I'm gonna look over there. Somebody say, I remember that movie. It was terrible. Yeah, anyway, sorry.
Speaking of sponsorships, we were joking around about how when we go Bigfooting, the only stores around for miles would be like a Dollar General store. So we need to be sponsored by Dollar General. Okay, so that was on Saturday night with Harley Owens, and then I'm like scrolling through social media yesterday, and I saw where people are having Talladega Night Thanksgiving parties. Now, to all my crew that's in the chat right now that knows about Talladega Nights, that's a Will Ferrell movie, okay, where he's a race car driver, NASCAR. They have this scene where they're having, I don't know if it's their Thanksgiving dinner or what, it's like this big family meal, but it's all like fast food and stuff. So the whole point of this thing, and I'm only saying this because I think this is a funny idea, to like if you have a Friendsgiving, everybody brings a different type of fast food from pizza, tacos, whatever, and you have your Talladega Nights Thanksgiving. And I thought that was genius, man. I was like, man, I need to have one of those. I wish I had more friends that lived around me. We'd have one of those parties. But anyways, yeah, sponsored by what is that? Old Spice.
Old Spice.
Wonder
That's
Bread.
deodorant.
Wonder Bread and Old
Deodorant,
Spice. Ricky
that was Old
Bobby.
Spice. Yeah.
Sponsored by Dollar General.
We've got something here that seems to be taking them over called Family Dollar. They're popping up everywhere in the place. Family Dollar.
Hillbilly Herb knows he knows the prayer. Dear Lord, little baby Jesus, little tiny baby Jesus, we thank you for this wonderful meal. Our two beautiful sons, Walker and Texas Ranger. That's right. And my red hot smoking wife, Carly. That's right.
Do you mean Carly from General Hospital? Is that
Oh man, I started to wear a NASCAR shirt today, by the way.
When I met that actor, Leon Isaac Kennedy, he came up to me, he said, man, my wife and I were trying to get here to hear you speak, but we were late. And, I was trying to get around to the other side of the property to actually interview with Journey to Truth. And that's before they were well known at all. They just come forward. But it was, he says that. I say, no problem. I'll catch up with you a little bit later. I start walking away and I keep thinking about the brother. He looked a little older. I turned around, I came out, I said, man, were you in the movie Lone Wolf McQuade? You got shot in the movie Lone Wolf McQuade? He looked at me. He said, "No, brother, I got shot twice in that movie. Twice." I said, "Oh, okay, I got you. It is you, man. Yeah, brother from penitentiary." It was just interesting, you know what I mean? Running all different types.
Man, I'm all hopped up on Mountain Dew. I'm seeing all these quotes in here, and I can just hear it in my head. I'm gonna come at you like a spider monkey, Chip. Throwing Chip's war medals over the bridge. And yes, Viennas and tater logs. Viennas. Thank you, C. Duke, for making me say that again. Okay. Well, I'm getting hungry. So I just want to thank you so much for being here with me today, Barry. This has been a fun show and very informative. Gosh, I learned a lot today. And I think we connected some more dots.
What you learned about my TikTok or my Instagram algorithms? I think that's all you learned.
Your booty? Barry, his booty algorithm.
I had to quit getting on there. I was like, man, because every now and again I see something like, man, I did not try to click on that stuff, man. Like, damn, I was getting clickbaited, dude.
Now we know what kind of algorithm you're in. Yes, we do.
No, I knew if I click it, you're like screwed then, Archie. You're really screwed then. You're gonna get messages or something. I never click.
Oh my God. Yeah, just when you click on it.
Had a brother look at his phone like this,
Oh, Jane, that's funny. Oh my gosh.
Anyway, but thank you for having me. It's been fun, and let's do it again soon.
We'll do it. We'll definitely do it again soon, for sure. We always do. And I want to thank everybody for being here today, you guys. This has been a really fun show, and the chat just makes it even more exciting. For sure. And thanks for sticking with us. This is a longer daytime show because my kid's out of school this week, y'all. But I want to thank everybody who gave the super stickers and gifted memberships with the Hunt Club. Nathan and TTOOEE Toey. Thank you so much. And also Engine B. Okay. Thank you so much. Again, I'm sure I'm not pronouncing any of that right, y'all. But I want to thank y'all so much for all the support. And to all my moderators for being here today, thank you all so much. And I want to thank Gerald with Midwest Night Watchers. I want to tell him happy birthday. Thank you for being here, Gerald. And Jane, on your birthday. And I will see y'all on Sunday over on your channel. I'm their guest on Sunday, I believe. I think it's this Sunday. Maybe it's the next Sunday. I think it's this Sunday. And also, I will be back on Wednesday, y'all, at 1 p.m. Eastern with John Vendaventer. We're going to have a fun live Thanksgiving show for y'all on Wednesday. So please come back and see us. And come say hey to John. He would love to see y'all. And he's kind of in between some treatments with his cancer right now and stuff. So he had like a week to come on my show. Okay, so before he goes back in to get some more medical treatment. Okay, so y'all come see us, and be sure to purchase your Relics books for Christmas. And thank y'all so much. Okay, and Barry, I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we'll see you back here next time. Okay.
Oh, yeah. One thing. Anybody wanting services can reach me at barrylittleton13@gmail.com. Starting to get emails again. So I'm about a day behind. I'm answering them after lunch here today, everybody. So just wanted to let everyone know you can catch me on YouTube too. Subscribers I can get. One day I might pass 14,000. If I get 14,000 subscribers, I'm out on YouTube.
Barry, you're like, my main goal is to get rich and act like I don't know nobody.
Oh, that's not going to happen. But hey, we all got dreams.
Oh my God.
Maybe we'll go play some Club Keto. I might get lucky.
That is so funny. Actually, I came across this like song. It's like some that riff raff guy or something. He's like, my main goal is, I think it says to get rich or to get famous or something. He's like, and then act like I don't know nobody. And I don't know. I think I laugh every time I hear that. But yeah, Barry Littleton 13 at gmail.com, y'all.
Oh, thanks for that.
Hit Barry up. Yes, I'm sorry. I almost closed the show down without even doing this.
I mean, either you got to think about Instagram. But you got to think about Instagram. I wouldn't think about it either. No, I'm just kidding.
Think about those booties.
I would get in trouble with it.
All right, y'all. Go over to Barry's Patreon and his YouTube and go subscribe, everybody. And thank y'all again for being here today. It's been a trip, y'all. And yeah, happy birthday to Gerald. And I'll see you guys back here on Wednesday. All right, everybody, stay safe out there and have a wonderful Thanksgiving if we don't see you on Wednesday. All right, bye, y'all.